A small male sparrow called Ben is living in a broad valley which is bounded by a series of green fields and great gray cliffs. Ben is quick and careful. He is aware of the location of the best seeds. He is familiar with the safe routes in the bushes. Everyone says Ben is smart, but lately Ben is not heartwarming. Each morning, an eagle goes round the mountains. His name is Ethan. As Ethan unfolds his wings, a line of sunshine is painted across the different feathers. He is riding the wind like a king in a radar. Ben lifts his eyes and says in a whisper, "Look at him." Everyone admires him. No one looks at me. He examines his little brown wings. His sisters call out to him, "Ben, come play." But Ben's eyes are on the sky. The utmost word, why, sinks into his chest. Why can Ethan go so high? Why is he so strong? Why am I only a little bird near to the dirt? Each day the feeling grows. Ben continues to picking up seeds, but he is slower. He continues to assist the family, but his thoughts are elsewhere. When his friends ask him to sing in the dawn, he replies, "May later." His mother asks Ben, "What is wrong?" He smiles a little and answers nothing. One afternoon, Mrs. Gray, the old dove, sits down beside him. "You are quiet these days, Ben." "I am fine," he says. "Your wings say no," she replies sweetly. Ben watches the cliff. Up in the air, Ethan slides and glides. "I would like to fly like that," Ben says at last. "I want to be a strong and admired person." She nods slowly. "Jealousy is a shadow," she says. "It comes with us everywhere we turn, and it makes the world seem darker than it is." Ben frowns. "How do I get rid of a shadow?" "Turn to the light," she says. "Turn to kindness." Ben does not understand. He waves, says thanks, and flies off. Days pass. The valley grows hotter. Farmers pray for rain, and finally, a dark line emerges on the horizon. The sky is in a few minutes filled with iron-cold clouds. The wind wakes with a roar. The parents of Ben scream, "Home, everyone home." Ben takes his sisters beneath the bushes. He is about to enter when something forces him to look up to the cliff. There is Ethan struggling with the storm. He attempts to fly, but the wind seizes his wing and strikes him against the rock. He tries to find a ledge to claw. Misses and hits again. Ben's chest tightens. Ethan and he is crying, and nobody can hear it in all the noise. In a lightning flash, there is a crack in the cliff. Ethan slips into it. The wind cannot hurt him now, but he is stuck. He cannot turn. Ben's sisters cling to him. "Ben, don't go." But Ben cannot look away. He remembers Mrs. Gay's words, "Stay with Mom and Dad." He says, "I will be back." Ben flies into the storm. The wind slaps him hard. The rain blinds him. One of the stones strikes his eye. He blinks and tries again, yet he continues on. At last he reaches the crack. Two golden eyes look back at him. "Ethan," Ben says, shaking with his voice. "It's me, Ben." The voice of the eagle is low and hard. "Small bird, go home. You are stuck," Ben says. "I will come out when the storm is over." Ethan answers, but his voice is doubtful. Ben thinks fast. "I will bring help." What help can a sparrow bring? Ethan calls out, but Ben is gone. He comes down on a thorn bush and scraps at a dry twig using his beak, and gets up to the crack once more. He forces the twig to the inside so that Ethan can bite. "Hold it." Ben says to prevent the water coming upon your face. Ethan bites the twig with his beak. The water flows on the wood and drops down his nose. He can breathe better now. "Thank you," he says. Ben flies down again. He discovers a large leaf that is attached to a fence. He makes it like a cup and fills it at a puddle. He gets onto the crack and leans the leaf toward Ethan. The eagle drinks. Ben keeps on doing it, and his wings are burned and his legs tremble. He carries worms little and tender up the banks of the brook. Without pride, Ethan eats them. Between trips, Ben talks. "Soon the wind is going to sleep," he says. "The rain will pass. You will fly again." Ethan breathes slow. "Why do you help me?" he asks. "You owe me nothing." Ben gazes upon his tiny brown wings. He recalls the mornings when he saw Ethan with jealous eyes. He thinks of the shadow. He thinks of Mrs. Gay's candle. "Because I can," he says, "because you need it. Because I wish the sky had you there tomorrow." Ethan is quiet. Thunder flashes off to the hills. The rain softens to a whisper. The light beams through the clouds and falls upon the cliff as a blessing. At last, the wind rests. Ben folds up his wings and pushes farther into the crack. "Try to shift," he says. "I will guide your wing." Ethan obeys. He tilts a feather at a time. The rock scrapes. The twig falls. Ben sets his little feet on the stone and struggles with all his might. Ethan crashes out of his bonds with one last effort. He falls, gasping upon the ledge. There is a moment between them of merely breathing. Then Ethan shakes himself, showering the sprinkles of water. He gazes on Ben, and his eyes were not proud this time. "Sparrow, I will not forget," he says. Ben smiles. "Come," says Ethan, putting himself down. "Climb onto my back." Ben blinks. "What? You saved me," says Ethan. "Now then you do want to see something, huh?" Ben gets on the powerful curve where wing and shoulder meet. He grips a thick feather. Ethan spreads his wings. The atmosphere picks them up in a pleasant hand. Up and up until the valley spreads out like chart. Ben gasps. He looks at the silver turns of the river. He looks on the farms, trim and green. He looks up at the floating, soft and white clouds like ocean ships on a sky sea. "It is beautiful," he whispers. "It is your world too," Ethan says. "Not only mine." They glide back to the valley. The family of Ben runs out, chirping in a joyous tempest of theirs. His mother is touching his forehead with her wing tip. His father nods with pride. Mrs. Gray smiles and says nothing. Ethan lands nearby. He bows his head to Ben. "Thank you," he says to all. "I learned something bigger than mountains today." "What is that?" asks one of the little sisters of Ben. "That real greatness is not how high we fly," Ethan answers. "It is how we lift others." Since then, the valley becomes different. As the morning sun comes up, Ethan continues flying. Ben still collects seeds, but now he observes upwards, no longer with envy, but with delight. Young birds ask Ben, "How did you get rid of jealousy?" He smiles and says, "I turned to the light. I chose kindness." And when they inquire, "What did it give you?" he points to the sky. Everything. Kindness can turn envy into friendship, and true greatness is lifting others up.